Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Raul Falla.
And Raul Falla is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Apex Racing League NASCAR B-Class Championship here for round 2 at the new Phoenix Raceway. I'm Austin Knight. I'm joined by David Whitehouse with Samuli Kumo in the production booth, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV. Yeah, and after a crazy round 1 at Daytona, AM is leading our championship. Kevin Kittleman took the win with Alessandro Dalladone taking first in the pros. But yeah, it was a amateur win and a pro second place. I think that's the first time it's happened in a ARL NASCAR series. But yeah, join me in the booth. It is David Whitehouse. David, how are you feeling about today's race? And yeah, it's Phoenix time.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. First time I've commentated on some NASCAR action, but this new Phoenix Oval, I mean, you were discussing it with me beforehand, what a odd shape it is. You know, it's certainly not a full super speedway oval that we normally see, and these guys are having to get used to it pretty quick because it has only just come online recently, so it's going to be interesting to see who dials into the circuit quickest.
It certainly is, and Phoenix, with being that weird kind of mile track, and it's a new Phoenix too, so the start line is after that tight turns 3 and 4. It's going to be showing a lot of driver skill and ability to keep the tires alive throughout the race here today, and it's going to be very interesting to see who's got the who's got the right feel for this track.
Yeah, it's going to take well, they've done plenty of practice, so they'll be hoping they're dialed in already. But maybe we'll just see a little surprise like we did at the first round when we had an amateur win. I mean, yes, he had to avoid the accident and got through, but to be able to still push yourself to win is quite impressive for an amateur.
It is, and Kittleman was over the moon about that after the race. So we're looking at most of the field right now. I can tell you with Phoenix, this is the new version of Phoenix, so it's a little bit different. There are some little different kinks, but it's pretty much the same. The track surface has been updated. The turns have been updated. It's given a HD remaster. But the track, compared to the last version of the track that most of these guys have been driving on, is pretty much the same. But, you know, with different track updates, different track surfaces, there are going to be some differences and some strategies that will work and not. I can remember the 2009 version had a few bumps here and there. It also had a grass interior. The last version that we all drove, you know, coming out of turns 3 and 4, there was a very off-settling thing that happened in there. But from what I've been hearing, most of these drivers like this version a lot, and they love that top line, especially what Tony's doing right there. You're just staying at the top. And we're going to be seeing some different lines taken here by most of these drivers trying to get an advantage through coming through the dog leg.
Yeah, it's going to be really. I mean, as we see Tony trying the high line for most of the circuit, but a lot of drivers can try and. Oh, there we go. That's exactly what I was about to point out to. You have no room for error when you start running that high line. And it just leaves the door open on the inside. So if somebody's got that inside line working and everyone's gone high, it's going to be advantage to the inside line. But it'd be interesting
on
to see
corner entry.
Different lines. Yes, on corner entry, of course. But
Yeah, coming out of corner exit, though, that outside line is a lot faster. We saw that in the IndyCar series when the IndyCars came out earlier this year. Now, these cars are not IndyCars. I'm not saying that this is fact all the ways, but, you know, everyone was running that top line and using momentum to their advantage. But right now, it's time for qualifying here at Phoenix. Sorry about that. I think David just got kicked out of iRacing right there. But yeah, qualifying is going around right there. Everything is back to normal. But yeah, cars are taken to the track here for qualifying.
yeah, sorry about that. For some reason, it's all stalled on me, but we're back going again now.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Things happen. Yeah, as everyone's taking to track right now, for qualifying, I can expect a lot of very close times, but a few people are going to be standing out from everyone else because, you know, they've had a little bit more experience on this track. It is a new track, so, you know, 1v1 times are going to be a little bit more spread out, especially from what we saw at Daytona with, you know, Daytona, you just hug the bottom line, and then you put the pedal to the metal, and you turn left, as our buddy Dennis has talked about. And
Yeah,
I think
everybody might look at an oval and go, easy, I could do that. But there's so much technical ability to being able to drive an oval correctly, and that's what everyone's got to be able to try and do tonight.
absolutely, and that's definitely what they're doing right now. And you can see who's really favoring that top. Martin Steinberg. Yeah, Steinbeckler sitting at the top with Luka Korlev jumping into second place with a 27.44 right there, just a little bit slower than Martin. But yeah, top three really close together, separated by half a tenth of a second. And then Glasscoff sitting at 4th is down by a 10th to everybody else. And that top 4 is really tightly packed together.
Yeah, it's really close. And as you can see at the moment, Dalladona, he down in 9th place at the moment. He was top of the pro category in the first round. So that shows you how close this field is. One little mistake as Jacob Reed heads to the top of the time sheets as well. And
yeah, what a time.
He was only 10th last time out, so that shows you the closeness obviously dialed in very quickly on the circuit.
Yeah, that's a very tough time to beat, but Jacob Reed with a amazing time, 1/10 faster than Tony behind him, as everybody who is out on track right now has jumped up into second place. Luka Korolev takes second spot away from Tony Repsard. And here's Alessandro Dalladona getting into the lap. Andrew Ruse coming onto the track right now. They jump up into 5th and 6th. As there's our lovely timing tower, and there are our lovely Pro-Am categories. You can see the pros are really hounding that top spot.
Yeah, it's to be expected. Oh.
Well, loose and wild. Yeah, I was going loose and wild through turns 3 and 4 across the line. I can tell you, this was a Formula Drift show. He would get maximum points for that until he hit the wall right there. But he was certainly giving that lap his all.
Yeah, he still popped it up into 6th place, so equal on time with Dalladone. So it's Reed, Korolev, Reprizard, Stein, Beekler, Dalladone, and Ruse as your top 6.
Yeah, the top 6 are all pro drivers, and Glasscoff, our leading AM driver. Kenny Kittleman, our leading AM championship driver, is down in 11th with his name. And here is your grid, with Jacob Reed taking pole position here at Phoenix with a time of 27:2:58. They're followed by Luka Korolev, Tony Repsard, Martin Steinbeckler, Alessandro Dalladone, Andrew Ruse, Sergei Glasscoff, Matteo Sufe, Jeremy Corres, Hendrik Bila, Kevin Kittleman, Modosianos in 12th place. They're followed by Mark Hutchinson, Christian Glamstetter, Ricker Bobberg, Rory Oshie, Thor Thulu, Sebastian Detweiler, Mark Sergel, Kev Copland, Adam Starzinski, and Jason Nethery at the end of our 22-car grid here for our Apex Racing League NASCAR B-Class Series. And it is Jacob Reed lined up on pole position, and he's going to be leading everybody out.
Yeah, Jacob Reed probably looking to start his championship challenge here today. He didn't have the best of rounds at the opening round at Daytona, so he will want to take advantage of this pole position and starting on the front row. But let's see how it goes, because obviously, like you've been saying, everybody's looking at that high line all the way around, and let's hope that there's going to be that difference in line so that people are constantly attacking each other.
Yeah, but that's in a car with a lot of downforce. I do a lot of single-seater racing around here, and that's the strategy to go for. With the NASCARs, they're a lot heavier. They're a lot of momentum base as well. They can't really hold around the outside. Or later on in the race, that's the line that you want to be on to keep the tires alive, but you can really throw it down the inside for a while. And that's the preferred line, but it's going to slowly move up the track the longer this race goes, until we hit a caution that it's all going to reset, or green flag pit stops, which would be amazing to see here. But the pace car is slowly moving the way, and following that pace car is the Chevy of Jacob Reed with the Ford of Luca right beside him.
Yeah, we've got somebody very slow away off the dummy grid on the left-hand side of the screen, but they've got away now, so...
It was Tony, actually.
Yeah, it was Tony, just not quite waking
No, it was
up.
Luca, not Tony. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just not quite waking up.
Hey, you know, everyone has their preferred coming off the dummy grid as pace car goes in. Now it's a different starting procedure than all these drivers are used to. They have a long route to the green flag. Usually the green flag would be dropped right now, but since the start-finish line is through turns 3 and 4, and off the exit, they are still all pacing up in front of turns 3 and 4 and that massive grandstand. Here at the Jewel in the Desert at Phoenix Raceway, it's green. Phil Reed, Jacob Reed slams down the pedal. I'm sorry, slams down the pedal, gets it underway as everyone dives underneath the track and into the open dog lane, heading into turn 1. And look at Alessandro Dalladone already jumping onto the back of Tony and up one spot. He absolutely sniped Martin off the line.
Yeah, that was a great start by Reed. He just jumped away, and Dalladone pretty much followed him in terms of when to accelerate, but he certainly won't miss his car as he's going around.
Cut wall. Glamsetter. Yeah, Christian Glamsetter hard into the wall right there. He's kept the car going, though. No yellow unless he stops it on the track right there, but he's got suspension damage and everything. That car is torn up as we're looking at Sophie right now. Matteo, not the best start off the line. He's dropped down 2 spots. Mark Etchison, and we got a big crash to 74. A Thor has hit the wall. We got a car around less than 22. Caution's out.
Yeah, but I think it was just 2 cars going for the same part of track, off the corner, different lines in the corner, wanting the same bit on the straightaway. And
Thor's, I think one of the cars on the outside heading into turns 2 got a little bit loose and has hooked Thor, and I think that might have been Mark Sergel. We'll get our replay to us very soon, but man, that was a massive hit. Thor seemed like he got away easily with that, but let's watch that replay. Watch the 22 of Mark Sergel right here. Coming out of turn 2, you just see Thor getting loose right there, snaps over, hits that, and then he hits the 22, who goes smack into the wall, and 22 goes around. Nice 360 right there, but, you know, the 22, when he went around, that did bring out the caution. That's going to be good news for Christian Glamsetter, who absolutely pancaked the wall by himself, but he didn't go around. But, you know, coming out of turn 2, that flat banked angle, it's going to be very loose on the car, but nice avoiding action by Thor to avoid the spinning 22 of Mark, who has gone into the pits. Thor has stayed out, surprisingly, not taking any damage repairs. He feels like he just tapped the wall right there. He did slap it kind of, but, you know, he's still staying out there on the track. But yeah, first caution. We can breathe.
I'm surprised he's not decided to pit under his caution and get the damage fixed. No real advantage to anybody pitting right now and trying to top off the fuel, or especially not change the tyres. I mean, we're only 4 laps in, so it's going to be not really a strategy changer for anybody here.
No.
If they do come in, they'll get about 3 laps of fuel. It's sort of what the point unless you're coming in for damage.
Yeah, and, you know, we did see the damage take a little bit of a strategy factor in Daytona with, you know, people saving their fast repairs until later on in the race in case something happened, which it indeed happened, and people were stuck with damaged cars coming to the final lap of the race, and those damaged cars, you know, they fell away from the leading pack. They were also collecting a giant crash, too, but that's a different story. The clean cars are at the front.
Yeah, exactly. You've just got to keep yourself, at this early stage, keep yourself clean, get through the first few laps, and be in the pack when it really matters into the last 50 or the last 25 laps as we're heading round to the green.
Yeah, heading around to the green once more. They got that long back straight, and I can tell you this restart zone is a little bit weird because in real life, the pace car actually goes to 3 and 4. Well, yeah, 3 and 4. That pulls off onto that giant infield right here. But, you know, on iRacing, the pace cars are weird. And they just go straight into the pit lane. But here we go into the restart zone. Green once again! As Jacob Reed gets immediately onto power once more, just like they did on lap number 1. And look at Dalladone already trying to make a move. That was Andrew Roos taking that outside line, trying to get the momentum on Alessandro right there. Looking down to the inside. Here comes the 59 of Steinbeckler getting right beside of Alessandro, heading out of turn 2 and heading into turn 3. Down the inside once more. Dalladone not trying to give it too much mustard just yet, as everybody else is going side by side right behind him. As that's Mark Hutchison battling for the Amley. We got a three-way fight. Glasscoff, Kittleman, and Hutchison. They moved up through the field. Mark Hutchison, currently our biggest mover, up 4 spots as he's sitting down to the inside of Jeremy Roos. Corres.
Yeah, that wasn't the start that Glasscoff wanted. He wanted to be well clear of all the other amateurs, but Hutchinson made brilliant starts in 3 and 4 positions respectively, and they are really looking as Daldone now looks around the outside. Oh no, it's Steinberg looking to be inside of Daldone. Daldone will get the run off this corner, heading down the straight, and he will stay ahead. But Represart also had a look at second place a little bit earlier in this restart, but didn't manage to make it through, and Korolev now sits 0.3 of a second behind Reed.
Yeah, Korolev went to the dog leg, and Repsart stayed onto the outside, didn't take that inside line that everybody else is taking. He's already thinking about his tires throughout this race because we are racing in Phoenix during the day, and I don't know if you know about American geometry or geography, but it's hot out here. But currently right now it's 73 degrees track temperature, so it's pretty much winter time in Arizona right now, and in this unrealistic version of Arizona. But all these drivers could get a little bit more risky on these tires. They don't have to worry about tire life throughout this race because the average temperature of Arizona right now would be about 90.
It's a lot cooler out on our track at the moment, and there it's 63. That's Boberg looking up the inside of O'Shea cleanly through, and these guys back here just trying to keep themselves clean, keep the tyres to a good standard so they can push a little bit harder when they're out of the traffic. There's a bit of a gap there for Ricard Boberg to close up, and his next target is 13th place.
That's Motocianos right ahead of him, and this is Bila looking down to the inside of turns 3 and 4. Henrik was trying a different strategy over in Daytona by not going to the pits immediately after a lot of laps like everyone else does, but he did get a lap led as well. But yeah, he was taking a little bit different lines, and he was looking pretty good throughout the day in that Daytona race. Unfortunately was caught up in an accident. We didn't see that car make it throughout the day as he sent it up to the inside of Llanos, but Llanos around to the outside. Can he get him back on the momentum? But there is Bila diving down into the dog leg and securing that spot right there through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a good battle between these two. If you look at Jeremy Torres is now having a look at, is he trying to, yes, he's trying to fight off Hutchinson and Kittleman, because Glasscoff has scampered away from this little pack, and this is the battle for second in the amateur category and about 9th overall. So these amateurs really showing good in this early stages against the pro drivers, but still 6 pro drivers at the top, as Korolev in second place has closed the gap to Reed very quickly. Reed got a good restart both times so far, but Korolev down to 0.1 of a second behind Reed.
Yeah, Korolev and Reed are on their own right now. 2/10 separated them, and then it's a little bit behind to the rest of the field. Reed and Korolev pretty much locked in with each other, Chevy and the Ford. But now they're taking a little different lines to turns 1 and 2. Korolev taking that inside line, and he could get a good run right here. That Mustang is looking very nice behind that Chevy. He's studying Reed just a little bit. I feel like Korolev is just biding his time right now, waiting for Reed to make a little bit of a mistake, because Korolev's not taking any drastic action to get up to Reed and try to get past him. They're all taking the same line, taking that wide line, diving down into 2, then going out wide again. Super unique line. You don't see this in anywhere else here on the NASCAR circuit.
Yeah, very unique line. For those who may be tuning in and don't normally watch open racing and NASCAR racing, this is standard. You don't want to push it too hard early on. You'll sort of not psych out the opposition, but work out where they're stronger. And it may take you 20, 30 laps, but that's not an issue if it means you're going to pass them on lap 99 or lap 100. So it's all building up to later on in the race as well. But then these
Oh, that's a wall strike for Glamsetter.
Yeah, Glamstead just stroking the wall on the outside there. It looks like he's got away with it, but these guys
He's got damage.
are certainly just trying to move up to the pack and make sure they're still in with the fight. 10 seconds coming in the top 15 at the moment.
Yeah, Glamstetter, that's his second contact with the wall. And remember, he pancaked the wall early on in the race, had to go on into the pits after receiving suspension damage. But yeah, that strike coming out of turn 2 just gave him damage just a little bit, just the same amount of damage as Thor has. But Glamsetter moving up through the field. Jason Methery is at the back of the field, struggling to find grip. I think he's also visited the wall again. He's actually gone. Okay, no, he's just having connection issues. He's dropping in and out of my timing screen. This is Sebastian Detweiler behind Glamsetter. But Glamsetter, if you want to watch somebody try to mosey their way through the field, Christian Glamsetter, lowest pro right now, trying to make that happen. We're going to go, oh, we almost went 3 wide right there. Here goes Detweiler down to the inside.
Yeah, that was a nice little sneaky look up the inside. I don't think anybody was expecting.
Christian wasn't expecting it.
No, as he now pushes off the apron and into turn number 1, and just can't quite make it around as Glamster now has a look around the outside. And the 2 teammates there just working together.
Oh, that's a
to make
strike
past
for
Grimster.
Thor again.
Yeah,
In the background, Thor strike the wall hard. So Thor and Christian, both of them are struggling to keep cars going up as championship updates. Kittleman has fallen down to 12th place.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened there to Kittleman, but if you notice, all wall strikes are coming up that very corner they've just gone through.
Yeah, Kittleman's hit the wall. You can tell that he's hit the wall by the damage on the front right of his car. It's nearly identical as what the damage looks like on Glamsetter and Thor as well. You know, it's just that small damage on these cars. You can just tell that the hood's just a little bit raised on that right-hand side as they hit that outside wall. And you can tell that number 11's got a little scratch marks right there. They were giving the Phoenix paint job.
Yeah, we're all hitting that wall just at the start of the pit lane. I don't know why that would be that corner. I mean, I don't know if you know.
It's a low banked corner. You're on the throttle coming out of there. You're trying to push it as much, and you just overly push it, and you go up into the wall. It's also, you can lose the back end, and you try to catch it out, and you get to slide out wide. But, you know, it's just a matter of pushing. You see Dowdonna getting really close to Hutchinson right there, and just sneaking his way around the outside. Correz getting right there. But yeah, that's exactly why you hit the wall. If you just push and you aren't expecting it, either as a car on your inside to get pushed up into the wall, or you're just pushing it too hard, trying to escape the guy behind or catch up to the guy ahead of you. And it's so easy to get up into the wall. As Bila gets contact, he's up into the wall.
Yeah,
that's all on Correz right there.
Saw that coming a mile off. As soon as it was Correz had rejoined the circuit, he was just drifting straight up towards Bila, and they were both never going to make it through that corner without contact.
Are we going to see a Denny Hamlin, Alex Bowman situation between these two? I hope we don't. But you know, if you saw that, here's the replay of that strike by Correz. He doesn't know that, but he understeers that corner into Bila. He tries to hold it into that middle line, tries to hold it down low as well. I think Bila was expecting it to be a little bit lower, but yeah, he turned the car. Nothing was really happening, working right there. Bila's got some damage to his car. It's mainly on the rear end, but you know, the car's still running. The car may be running just a little bit hot, but most of that's coming from Bila's anger. I know if I was him, I'd be running a little bit hot as well.
Yeah, I'd be pretty frustrated if I was him, because you're giving him the whole line of the track. But it was just the front end pushing out there, and sometimes there's just nothing you can do. You get off the throttle, it just won't keep turning, and it's either hit the person next to you or hit the wall. Luckily, lightish contact, and it's kept Bila in the race, and not really, doesn't look like he's lost too much speed either. Yeah,
no, he's kept the speed, but you know, if it was truly an accident at Correz, if it was me, this is just if I was driving, I did it at Correz, I would give him the spot back. You know, I didn't mean to hit you. You can pass me up the inside, and we could continue our race. I wouldn't do that, but then again, I'm not racing in here.
Yeah, I personally agree with that one, but it's a lap 28. Probably
Yeah, it's lap 20 as 100.
he probably thought he wasn't quite. He was fully alongside maybe, but the top three here you can see we've got 2 packs of 3 in the top 6, and it's Reed leading Korolev and Rupsard, and then it's Ruse, Daladone and Steinbiker. So 6 of them away at the front, 4 seconds clear of the amateur leader Glaskov, who's sort of running by himself at the moment, which isn't the end of the world to be fair. It's just
no, it's just
a
boring.
nice little.
This is boring.
I'd rather have a boring race and win.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am the same way. I prefer having a test session than an actual race. It's the easy ones that you really don't think about, but it's the easy ones that you always want. They don't bring the biggest smile to your face, but you know, they do bring the results sometimes. But you see, Glasgow's is doing everything right. And if this is going how it is currently going, we're looking at an all-green race. You know, a few cars making contact with the wall in turns 1 and 2. I don't think we should be seeing that. As soon as I said that, that's car going way out wide. That's actually the laps car of Jason Nethery going out wide. I thought that was a car just understeering into the wall, but no, we shouldn't be seeing any more of that until you know, the tires really start falling off a cliff and everyone goes on to new tires and goes back onto the pushing side of things but I feel like everyone's fallen into their groove right now, and it's just a matter of staying with each other as Korolev gets a little bit wide coming through turns 3 and 4. Here comes Tony down to the inside.
Yeah, just ran a little bit hot into there, the front end pushed, and that allowed Repizar a chance to go up the inside, and he's done that nicely, and he can slot back onto the high line and stay a lot past Korolev in that corner, and now it's allowed Reed to scamper away a little bit more. Ruse behind has dropped Daladone, and he's trying to get onto the front of his pack, so he'll be just using up his tyres a little bit more just to try and push that bit harder. But yeah, everyone's just sort of keeping themselves clean at the front at the moment.
Back here.
Not keeping themselves clean.
Polar opposite of what's happening at the front, tactical and everything. This is a straight up barroom fight right now. Sergio Hutchinson and the 82 of Detweiler, Kev Copeland, all of them are all getting very crazy.
Yeah, it keeps giving me a heart attack when somebody dies for that dog leg, to be fair. So I know they're just going to rejoin the oval and just catch that little dip that might just throw him out wide. But yeah, Reed out front now, 7/10 of a second over Repizar and Korolev.
Also want to say that
is full on, and this is only for 16th place. No, 15th place, sorry.
Yeah, I want to say one thing. That wasn't Hutchison. That was his teammate of Kev Copeland. They're driving pretty much the same car, paint job wise. Mark is up there in 8th. He's up 5 spots. But look at Detweiler. Sent it down to the inside. The 63 of Ricker Bobberg giving a lot of room down the inside and trying to hold it. But it's the 2 teammates barreling through the field at this point. The 82 and the 22 are ganging up on everybody, and I feel like they're slowly finding their pace right here. They came in here with a strategy, and now they're going to execute it well, as it seems like they are gaining up ground. It's just dealing with traffic at this point.
Yeah, we're just trying to work on the 63 of Boba Detweiler, the one who looks like he's going to get through, but really Shashal needs to sit behind him and push him along if he can, especially on the straights, and just try and get him past Boberg. Boberg's just hanging on with the exit on the corner
is
the outside.
Yeah, that outside line is so good, but you know, these two, they were really originally they were just very easy on the tires. Rickard goes wide once more for that pace off the corner, but that inside line is going to be slowly better, and they get ahead of him right there. But look at Kev Copeland. He's going to make this 3 wide, coming through the corner and be a surprise overtake. He's going to be trying to slide down to the inside of Rickard right there, but Bobberg's going to hold him off, and Kev Copeland is just like, oh man, so close. But yeah, we got those 4 AM drivers. Ooh, Kev getting a little spicy. sending it down to the inside. Yeah,
I think
don't think he hit the
Boberg
wall.
just tacked the wall as well. Just in front of Kev Copeland. He thought he was going round, so he tried to avoid him. But Copeland's the one really taking advantage of that cut through on the apron, and it's not really working for him just yet.
Yeah, it's not working at all, as Rickard was, that outside line is so good at holding around that momentum, but, you know, you got to really send it through that dog leg to make it work, as everyone dives it into turn one. As the sun was actually reflecting, you can see how much tire wear is already down there. Everybody's been running that same line, that it's already shown a straight up tire mark through there, and it's pretty dark through there. The track surface is already dark, but you know, when everybody's running the exact same line, it's coming out of nowhere. Is that a Supra? It is a Supra. It's not Glamsterter though.
No, that's Rory. He's actually running.
He's in last.
Back. Yeah, he's running at the back. But
oh, he just went to the pits. Rory O'Shea's just went to the pits. He's on fresh tires, and this is what fresh rubber looks like to the rest of them. He could just hold around the outside, stretch out his legs, and say sayonara, because Rory O'Shea in that Toyota, well, he's getting past Jason Nethery and everybody else back there. Kev Copeland and Richard Ballberg. He's not for position. He's 2 laps down, actually. But yeah, he took an early pit stop on lap 35. He felt like the car was getting a little bit too loose, but yeah, that was our first green flag pit stop, and that's the difference of pace. His last lap was a 28.38. He is a 7/10 faster than our leaders right now.
Yeah, talking about the leaders, back in third place, Roos has got round Kolarov and is trying to close down on the top 2. Represad closing down on Reed as well. But here we go, Rory O'Shea diving to the inside. Past 2 more. He's looking to try and get as far up as he can and hope a caution comes out.
No, he doesn't want a caution. What Rory would want, what Rory would want in this situation is to get everybody else into a green flag pit stop, so he'll be on top.
True.
And then because everybody else be on pit stop, he'll be back onto the lead lap. And if he's gained enough time on people, he could theoretically jump them as well. And then a caution coming out when everybody's on different strategies is really what Rory O'Shea wants. But you know, with the undercut, you do not want a caution coming out because, you know, you'll be forced to go back into the pit lane again and you just put yourself a lap down. If you're going for the overcut and everybody's gone to the pits, then you would like the caution to come out because everybody would be either a lap down or something. I've done this in the Indy 500 multiple years in a row. Multiple sessions in a row as Correz dives into the pit lane. He's going to be the second driver going for green flag pit stops, but everybody's running at the edge of their tire life and fuel life right now, and it's going to be very spicy. But yeah, I've done that strategy, and you know, it's ended with Indy 500. It's only 6 cars on the lead lap because, you know, you just push as long as you can, and that sometimes happens. But this isn't the Indy 500. This is NASCAR.
Yeah, the 97 of Correz coming in, the driver from Eaton Rapids in Minnesota. As we look back at Jacob Reed, the Brit from Worcester, leading the way in this NASCAR B Championship race around the new Phoenix Oval, ahead of Rupsard and Ruse.
He's pulling away from Tony.
Yeah, he seems to be just keeping that gap at about 0.8 of a second, which is a nice little gap to have. He doesn't want to go over using his tyres now because the yellow can come out at any point, and you just don't want to be in a, well, right now they'll be pitting and changing tyres and fuel, but at other stages you don't want to overuse the tyres just in case you need them. You just need to win by the smallest possible
Tire life
margin.
is all. Yeah, the tire life is going to keep your pace around the circuit. As there goes Ricker Bobber after being lapped, dives down into the pit lane. He can't handle, he can't handle tires right there, and he's going to be scrubbing off a lot of speed as Jacob Reed leading off everybody. He's just being smooth with the tires, keeping the tires alive, keeping the grip with the tires, keeping the speed and momentum with there. As Tony, with Jacob, taking that alternate line to avoid Ricker right there. He's closed that gap to half a second now as they head through turns 1 and 2, as that is Kev Copeland ahead of him.
Yeah, Kev will be trying to stay on this lead lap, but I just think we've both got a bit too much pace for him here today as he goes out wide, and that is Reed past, and he's doing the right thing and just staying away from the leaders, allowing them
Well, he's almost did. Tony off the exit was a little bit wide. He actually had to head into that turn from the middle line, drift out wide, then dive back onto the inside. But, you know, 6/10 separate Tony and Reed right now. This is just the first set of stops that these guys have to go through. They could do a one-stop race right now because it's one more lap. There it is, and they are halfway through this race here at Phoenix.
Yeah, I noticed in practice the Fords were pretty dominant on the whole scale of things, but at the front at the moment we have the Chevrolet of Reed and Ford of Represad and the Chevrolet of Rouge. So while there's a lot of Fords in this field, top Toyota is Daladone down to 6th at the moment, so he'll be looking to represent the run and pull them up onto the podium if he can. But at the moment,
everything's all balanced though. It's just the shape of the nose and tail lights.
Well, yeah, exactly. But it does help us notice who is who on the circuit, as we can see Toyota there being lapped. That's
Nethery. Jason Nethery.
Of Nethery getting
as Daladone and Steinbachler into the pits. Hello, Daladone. Hello, Lunch, and hello, Brown Pants. And hello, Lockup right there as, oh my gosh, Alessandro almost making contact heading into the pit lane. It looks like he's had some contact with the wall as well. Here he is heading to the pit lane. He's like, oh, shoot. Gets it onto the right speed right there and doesn't get a speeding penalty. But, you know, they're racing into the pit boxes. Oh, Steinbachler's locked up. He misses pit lane. He's missed his pit box because Alessandro was on the inside. Their pit box just happened to be right beside each other. Now, you could drive through another car right there, but, you know, I don't think Steinbachler was understanding where Daladone's pit was, but Alessandro Daladone is definitely going to be exiting the pits ahead of Steinbachler, as this is Janos and Sufi heading in, as Ruse and Luca are heading into the pits in a pair as well. And, you know, these two are top cars have gone to the pit lane. Our leader, Reed, and Repsart are still out right now. And this is great news if you are them. You were able to keep your tires alive longer and able to go, well, longer and faster. But here comes our leader, Jacob Reed, heading into the pits. It looks like Tony is staying on to the outside. Tony takes the lead.
Yeah, Repsart doing a great job with the tires and the fuel wear on this car. He's up into the lead. Reed's had to pit. We've had Hutchinson is still going and Glaskoff. I don't think they've pitted yet. Bieler, Kitterman. The top driver who has pitted is Kololev, who got out in front of Ruse, who I think had passed him on the earlier stop. So Kololev coming out in front of Ruse in 9th place, and that is top of the pit stoppers at the moment.
Yeah, heading into the pits, Ruse did jump Luca. As you see Luca getting very tail end happy. Cold tires, remember, coming out of the pit lane. And, you know, this is new tires now versus old tires. And so the new tires are going to have to get them up to temperature. The track is not that warm right now, 73 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So the track is not really helping these tires get up to temperature. As that was Tony getting extremely wide right there. 3 cars on the lead lap right here. It comes a 64 around the outside of Tony. He's going to have to watch out right there, as that is Sufe getting past him right there. And down to the inside here comes a number 13 Toyota, and that is Starzinski just making their way. But Tony, with him just staying out right now, if the caution comes out, look how many cars will be on the lead lap. It will be 4, with the Lucky Dog rule giving Reed back his leading spot. But I feel like that's what he's risking right now, to stand out as long as he can until that car dies away. But everybody else on track, I can guarantee you, is faster than Tony right now, especially his last lap where he had to take evasive action right there.
Yeah, he managed to avoid. This is what the danger is. You've got all these drivers on new tyres trying to come past you, and they may be a lap down.
Fourth and down are all 1 lap behind you. This is Bila storming through the dog leg down to the inside of Glaskov. Glaskov still hasn't gone into the pits as well. It comes to 34. 34, 28. I am not sure.
Or is Jason Nevery, who's down in last place at the moment, so he pitted on lap 53, so he's only just come out the pits recently on his new tyres and is driving under the 69 now. That car you will not miss on the circuit at 69.
Yeah, it's a very it's a very striking livery, and I can tell you, you know, we got two cars that have that striking color scheme, and I somehow got them confused already. That's Alessandro Dalladone and Bila. Dalladone's car, it doesn't have the stripes on it. Bila's car, well, it has the stripes. Dalladone's car, at the end of it, says "too much mustard," which is, you know, a saying that I just rammed down everyone's throat during the Formula 3.5 broadcast whenever somebody cooks up the rear tires. And, you know, he thought it was funny, so he slammed on his car. As this is 34, Tony Repsard hops into the pit lane. He couldn't keep it on for any longer, so everybody is racing around the track right now. The leader is in the pits, and he's got a good gap to everybody else, but can he keep that alive and stay ahead of Reed? The average time is 53 seconds. He was ahead of a lap, and it's about a 20-second gap to Reed. 30-second gap heading into the pits. Tony, don't miss your pit box right here. You have to go around the turn. He qualified in 3rd place, so he's going all the way to the end of the grid. As Bila is your current leader. Sergey Glaskov takes 2nd place. Jacob Reed passes Tony in the pit lane, and here is back to our net leader. Here comes Tony out of the pit lane right now. Let's see where...
Really not worked for Tony,
no,
has it? I mean, you know, the fresh tyres, but he's down behind Dalladone, who was 6th before the pit stop, so
yeah,
that
Tony
really not worked.
Yeah, the undercut really worked well for Reed, but, you know, Tony's going to have fresher tires going on to the end of the race right now. You know, there is a little bit of too much. You can run a little bit too long on some tires right there. And this is a certain situation. You know, sometimes running too long is not the best option. The tires get so low that you just lose more time if you stay out as long as you can. And everybody on these fresher tires are already up to temperature. He's got to get them up to temperature and make sure that he doesn't get very loose and slide. But Tony is, you know, down in 7th place. Now, we do have Bila and Glaskov, who has still not gone to the pits. So, coming out of this pit stop cycle, when they both go into the pit lane, that should promote Tony to at least 5th place, but he's going to go for 6th place right now onto the inside of Alessandro Dalladone, and Tony is just like, you belong back behind me. Easily passes him down to the inside. Now, he does have a lot faster tires than everybody else. It's about, okay, well, Jacob went in on lap 54. Tony went in on lap 61. Do a little quick math right there for me. That's about 7
laps, yeah.
Yes.
7 laps sold of tyres for Reed. But other news is this is costing Glaskov for
Glaskov just got overtaken. Yeah, Glaskov just got overtaken by Reed right there. That he hasn't gone to the pits yet. Glaskov is still out there on old tires, and our leading AM driver is Hutchison, who is down in 10th place.
Yeah, but he's literally only 19 seconds behind Glaskov, and he's pitted. So this is not good news for Glaskov. He's going to fall down the field and maybe even off the podium.
Yeah, Glaskov is, you know, he's playing that extremely long strategy, but, you know, everybody is passing him right now, and Glaskov's just running it until she's dry. And, you know, he'll be really set if this comes down to a sprint finish as well, because, you know, he'll be on the freshest tires out of anybody. Bila is also doing the same strategy of just running her until she's dry. But Sergey is dropping down off the pace. And well, I thought he was going into the pits right there, but yeah, the car down is inside of Thor in that 74. And Thor's been struggling today, but, you know, both these drivers have been struggling as well against Sergey. He's also hit that outside wall. You can see some little bit of paint chipped away. As here is our leader, Henrik Bila, still on the outside of the track, and he goes all the way to the inside. I thought he was going to go into the pit lane. He slowed up a lot. And here's that Supra down to the inside of the 71, getting back on. Now that's Kevin Kittleman getting back onto the lead lap. That's 71. Just so sick.
Yeah,
that
Kittleman's
11 is really...
Pushing, he's going to have to keep pushing because Jacob Reed is right behind him. Jacob Reed with a little bit of an advantage now because Repsard didn't come out down in 5th place. And Beeler
Tony is faster though.
Again. Beeler does not pit again. When is he going to come in? Same with Glaskov. This is costing him any chance of a good result today.
Well, I know some drivers, they have a green zone. They know that they could push their tires for at least 25 laps around some tracks without looking back at it. And, you know, if they could get a car to that green zone as fast as possible, you'll be within that window. As you could tell, Tony Repsard was about 4 seconds behind Reed at the start of this lap. He's now 3.2 seconds behind Reed right now. So Tony is storming through this track. He's about 7/10 faster last time by, and you know, it's just 7 laps can make a difference. Well, let's say about a 20-lap difference at the end of this race. You got 30 laps to go. If you have tires that are 20 laps newer than everybody else, you will be like a rocket ship on steroids, and Elon Musk wants your number if you have that stat right there. But yeah, you know, he's just going as long as he can and waiting for that ending opportunity, and he still has some okay pace.
Yeah, he does. Rue's up into 2nd place now. He's gone past
Oh.
Beeler. And that was a slice across his nose there as they go 3 wide through the corner. There is Tony trying to have a look to the inside.
I am trying not to freak out right now, but how did they not make contact?
That was Scherschel being lapped while Beeler was trying to get out of the way of everybody else coming through because he still hasn't pitted. Neither is Glaskov. We keep saying it, but they're not taking heed, and it's lap 73 of 100 already. So when will they actually come in? Are they just stretching it and then hoping for a late yellow now?
I feel like that might be the thing. Vila, though, you know, with some of these drivers, we were saying that they're just going as long as they can. But, you know, if they go into the pits right now, they're going to be a lap down at this point. So they're going to have to pass everybody twice. They'll be on the newest tires, but I feel like they are waiting for that yellow if it comes out. We only had 1 yellow today, and that was off of a 2-car contact, making it hitting into the wall. O'Shea heads into the pit lane, and I presume that would be out of damage because they were already into the pits earlier. But
I've got a feeling he wouldn't have made the end because he was quite early, so I wonder if he wasn't going to make it quite to the end. I'm not sure.
Well, he's coming back out of the pit lane right now, so you know, he's
Maybe
back out there. You know, the car's looking very nice, so I think O'Shea just hopped into the pits for damage-wise, and we didn't get any notification on that. But if you look behind of Jacob Reed, there's a car that is absolutely torn up right there. I'm not sure who that is. It looks like Jason Nethery. Yeah, it is Jason Nethery. Look how torn up that is. And there comes Glaskov heading into the pit lane finally. And, you know, he still has a faster car remaining. There's no damage on that car. Only car that hasn't gone into the pits yet is Bila.
Yeah, Beeler's still going in 5th place at the moment, 5 seconds ahead of Dalladone, who hasn't really shown the pace that he had at Daytona. He's sitting there in 6th place at the moment, obviously becoming 5th, but he's still 4 seconds behind Beeler, so it's not quite working out Dalladone might have hoped tonight.
Knowing Alessandro, he prefers the big tracks where you don't have to put a lot of throttle modulation into something. Does that sound a little bit mean? Yes. If you're friends of Alessandro, he accepts it.
Yeah, to be honest, I completely agree. I mean, I've done Talladega, and then the next one was wherever the ARCA series is this week. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's a small track.
It's a small track. And it's a completely different style of driving, and this is probably where it comes with Dalladone. He likes the super speedway type tracks, but Reed here at the front, the gap's down to less than a second now. Tony is really closing in, and is Reed just trying to take it easy, to conserve them tyres a little bit? As we said before, you've only got to win the race. You haven't got to win it by 6 seconds.
What?
So
I don't think Jacob Reed knows on how fast that Tony has just stormed through the field now. 22 laps to go, and Tony is right there with Jacob. And, you know, it's the same gap as what happened heading into the pit lane. Just 7-lap newer tires. And, you know, Tony really managed these tires well. Or has he been pushing these tires to their limit to catch up to Reed? Or has he just been taking it easy? I think Jacob Reed has been taking the easy route because that's the way that Jacob likes to drive. Take the tires easy, don't really force them, but I think Tony's just being a little bit more aggressive to catch up to Reed. But he does have the newer tires, but did he wear off that tires a little bit too much? We're going to find out. It's going to be a 20-lap shootout for the lead here at Phoenix.
yeah, super close between these two. In the amateur category, leader Hutchinson up into 9th place. Starzinski, the biggest mover so far of the race. He is up 10 places, up in second class. That long strategy with Glasgow has not worked. He's fallen to 20th, 3 laps off pace. That seems a lot of time lost in pits, to be honest.
Yeah, it is a lot of times. Glasgow, it looks like, oh, there goes Beeler into the pits. Whoop. Yeah, Glasgow was 55 seconds in pit road right there. So I feel like Glasgow also might have got a speeding penalty heading into the pit lane, and that's really kept him in there. As, you know, sudden lighting change. Sunset has struck the track.
Yeah, Beeler rolling in, the last driver to pit. Let's see whereabouts he comes out. As you said, Glasgow, a massive 98 seconds for the whole sort of pit lane entry and 55 seconds stationary, so that's definitely got to be a penalty of some kind. As Beeler now heads out, so he hasn't been in for 55 seconds, but comes out in 15th place. So not be a strategy he was hoping, but if a yellow comes out now, he's in the ball seat. Yeah,
he's definitely looking for that. He's definitely not looking for that yellow right now. He needs to be the first lap, first car 1 lap down to be ahead of everybody else. But if the yellow comes out now for Beeler, he won't need a pit. Everybody else will probably dive into the pits, and he will probably get first place. The track position for first place. He just needs to be on the lead lap for everybody to go there, because, you know, if the yellow comes out with caution, everyone goes into caution. They're still going around the track at about 60 miles an hour. So you won't have the track position, unfortunately. But, you know, if he gets that opportunity to be back onto the lead lap, he will be there. You just got to pass 5 cars ahead of him, and Beeler will be the first car a lap down. His current target is a 64 of Sufi, which Beeler is about. Let's see. Go on to Beeler so I can calculate how far he is behind. It's about
9 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it's about 9 seconds, and you know, we saw how fast Tony closed in on Jacob Reed. He's already on the back of him. That was within about 5 laps. And with 15 to go, we see our leaders really battling with traffic now. And everyone's on a mixture of different tires and everything. I love races where everyone just says, I'm going to go very short on these tires. I'm going to go very long on these tires. And, you know, you have a mixture of drivers and strategies happening right now, and everyone's got to adapt to this track. As Reed is going to be forced to take a much tighter line through turns 1 and 2. You see Tony right behind taking that regular line. So watch out for Tony to gain up a lot of time right here.
Yeah, we've just made it past the 55 of Janos. Starzinski is next, and he's only 2 seconds off the amateur lead. So Starzinski, from pretty much the back of the grid almost, he may be in position to win this amateur category if he can just make his way past Hutchinson, who, again, he got pole last time out in amateur and is 8th in the class at Daytona. So he really wants this win as well. So there's 2 drivers.
Tony had a back out right there.
Yeah, it's got to be inside Janos.
Yeah, he got onto the brakes later, but that was a late commitment heading into turn 3 and 4 right there for Tony, but he's seeing his lead right there for Jacob Reed start to pull away just a little bit. There he is, stuck behind the 13 of Adam Starzinski, and Starzinski's got 2-lap older tires than Mark Hutchison, who is up ahead of him. So they're on a very equal strategy, but they're letting the leaders through right there. And Tony taking a tighter line once again down to the inside through 3 and 4. So Starzinski lets him by, so he can go all the way up to the wall and chase down Reed. And it looks like what I thought was true, that Tony was a little bit more aggressive on the tires. That pace advantage that he had catching up to Reed is not there anymore. And it looks like Tony is starting to struggle with his tires with 11 laps to go. Does he have enough left in those tires to catch up and pass Jacob?
I would say the two of them are probably on similar tyre life now if Tony has used up all that extra 7 laps he had of tyre wear. We've got 10 to go now, and this is the battle for the lead. Cruz is not far behind either. He's just got to go around his teammate Janos and then Starzinski, and he'll be on the back of him. You can just see him behind in the gold livery. He is 1.9 seconds off the lead and pushing hard. I think Janos will jump out of his way. Yes, he does, and allows the team leader to come through. Oh, no, he hasn't.
No.
Did he realise he's there? Yes, he has. I was going to say.
He's realized he's there, but, you know, he didn't make an absolute sidestep of the jump. He was just sitting right there, and it's like, I'll leave you the inside. You're the faster car. I'm not going to really do much for you. You know?
Yeah, you can make it through yourself.
He's in his own race, too. Remember that. So, remember, because the 55 of Motos, he is trying to battle for... Actually, no, he's down there in 10th place. He's just trying to score as much points, and he's got a few cars around him as well. But, you know, when you're in a team and you're lapping your team car, you don't want to throw off both the drivers' races.
Yeah, but you
and
don't
sacrifice
want
one
to
for
the wall or something. That's not the thing to do.
Or send your car off the track to let them by without any resistance at all, like I have.
I was going to say, that sounded like a guilty party, but here we are, 7 to go, and the gap is out to just over half a second. Reed has responded.
Oh, Tony's at the wall.
Well, there we go. That's probably why the gap is. Tony has clipped the wall somewhere. Closing in behind his moves.
Do you want an over-under on which corner I say turn 2? At least 90%.
Yeah, I'd presume it's probably that. Reed struggling to get past Hutchinson. He's trying to stay on the lead lap just in case the yellow comes out now. We've now got 6 to go.
I don't think the yellow's going to come out.
No, I don't either. These guys have been exemplary in their driving. A few clips of wall, but only that 1 yellow at the start of the race. And Reed heads to the inside of Hutchinson. Hutchinson's seen him and left him more than enough.
Oh, he's gave him a lot of time too, because remember who's behind him closely. Where is Starzinski?
He's there in the grey and red.
Oh, there is Starzinski's right ahead of Rears, and Starzinski was right there hitting the wall. I think he just heard Hutchison saying, "You can go by. I'm going to go high," and yeah, Starzinski can see him right there. We're looking at Andrew Rears in third, but the car ahead, Starzinski, is second place in the Amstracks. That's Rory O'Shea stopping at the bottom of the track. He's just staying below a built-in line right there, but if he stops on track, that's going to bring out the yellow, and there we go, the second yellow. He's missed the pit entry, so the second yellow with 4 laps to go. Did he just stop to bring that yellow out on purpose, Rory?
I don't quite know. But
I think he did. He stopped the track and then got going. The yellow is out due to a very unusual situation of Rory stopping on track. It looks like he smacked the wall, stopped the car, brought out the yellow, and then kept going. And like he's going to try almost miss the pit entry again.
That car is not turning out. It should be.
Yeah, no. But, you know, a late caution right now. Jacob Reed, Tony Repsard, 3 laps to go. Are we going to be seeing our leaders take tires for a late run? Yes, we are. They're all diving into the pit lane. This is where we usually see a few drivers stay out, as now our lap cars are staying out right now. Everybody else diving in. this is where we'll start to see drivers who took late tires might try to gamble right here, but everybody diving into the pit lane. It's going to be a race off pit road right now, as this is everybody diving into the pits. We got a side-by-side race right now, but Tony Repsard and Jacob Reed will be starting side-by-side with green, white, checkered right now. Who's going to be winning this race off of pit road? They both stop into their tires. It looks like Jacob got a little bit deep into his tires right now. Tony gets onto his tire jacks earlier, as we're watching two virtual pit crews race it right now. But, you know, Jacob Reed on pole. It's going to be Andrew Roos beating all of them out. Roos out of nowhere. Reed takes second race and Repsard in third. Andrew Roos knock it out of the ballpark. Pay your guys in whatever they want tonight, because they gave you the best spot on the grid right there. Andrew Roos with a pit stop time of 9.95 seconds to get up there. You want to know why? He only took right side tires. And he's actually slowing up, a lot of slowing up right there as everybody's diving into the pit lane. That's a lap car right there. And this is where we see drivers who went extremely long actually stay out. And that is Henrik Biela. He stayed out in that 69. And he is back onto the lead lap. And, you know, that was his strategy, to stay out as much as he can. But at this situation, he's going to be stormed by a lot of cars. But there's going to be a lot of shuffling back with the lead cars. He'll be starting. Actually, no, he is in front of everybody else. So when this all gets back, pace car light's going to go on. They're going to be, I believe, forced to go behind. I'm not sure how this is going to go. But Roos and Reed and Repsard, our top three, are behind him, and our leading car is Motocianos, and they'll be led around to get to the back of the grid.
There's Hutchinson heading out of the pits. The amateur leader went round for a lap and then pitted, so he will be back onto the lead lap, it seems. I'm not sure why Glaskov come in. He came in, he pitted really late and then decided to pit and change tyres, but he's 3 laps down.
I feel like he was just... Oh yeah, everybody who was ahead of him now has to drop behind the leaders, so we're having a little bit of a Tetris situation, traffic jam situation. I love that game. But yeah, that lead caution, I feel like some of the drivers might look at that and just be like, he's done that on purpose.
Yeah, but it's going to be, I think the stewards
will look at
that and see where they thought that was right or wrong. But Hutchinson up in 8th in the amateur category. Darniski 13th, so he's got some work to do.
Let's go.
And Reed, side by side, eyeing each other up.
Eyeing each other up, side by side, lined up together. Our top 3 nose tail, our top 4 nose tail right now. Pace car is in. Oh, buddy, I am all ready for this. Green, white, checkered. Here at Phoenix for round 2 of the Apex Racing League B-Class Championships. It's 2 Camaros out there on the front row, followed by 2 Mustangs in the second row. You see Alistair down lane back there right now. It's time to have a shootout in the desert. Green goes Andrew Roos, and we're back underway with 2 laps to go. Green, white, checkered. Everyone diving down to the dog lane right here. Here comes Andrew Reed right down to the inside once again, trying to get onto that quarter panel, heading in through turns 1 and 2. You can see everybody diving and just trying to get that tires worked up right there, because they're all kind of drifting through there. Alistair and down and getting really sideways coming out of the corner, and he's trying to look down to the inside of Korlev staying onto the bumper of Repsard right there as they're heading one last time into turns 3 and 4. We got a big crash up behind him, but the white flag is out, but the caution comes out once more. We're going to have another green flag racing. That's Kevin Kittleman involved, our amateur championship leader. We are going to go through a overtime once more, since that caution came out right before the white flag came out. If that happened when the white flag came out, this would be the last lap. But no, that caution came out right before the leaders got the white flag. Here's what happened to Kevin Kittleman. And I feel like it might have been Rickard Bobber down to the inside. It is Rickard Bobber down to the inside. Just clipped him right there. Sent him spinning. And, you know, he got kicked back up onto the track. Made contact with 34, who then made contact with 54.
be honest, I think the 34 has had enough damage to sink a battleship tonight. But
Yeah.
remember, the overall winner at Daytona and leader of the amateur class. Yeah, okay, it's early days, but that is a massive disappointment for Kittelman.
I think he would throw up his hands like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You know, when you're leading it.
The white.
You know, I remember his excitement from last time, and that was also the first green-white checkered in ARL history. But it's not the last. We got the first double green-white checkered now.
Yeah, here we go. Kittelman on the back of the pack. It's Ruse and Reed again. Ruse made a nice little jump there. Reed dived to the apron very quickly to try and make it past Ruse. Didn't quite make it through.
So Ruse was able to hold off Reed now, and they all got a little taster of what they all have. And the biggest loser out of that, you know, I think the top 6 didn't even change.
Yeah, Davidoni did make it past Korolev, but obviously he made it back through before the yellow come back out.
Yeah,
Hutchinson gained a position on Beeler, and that's about it.
Yeah, but our leaders, they didn't. But, you know, we were looking at it. Andrew Roos had a good jump, but immediately Jacob Reed was back on his tail. We're going to be seeing a different strategy on the green light restart right here. But I don't know about you, but my heart is beating out of my chest right now, and this is the stuff I live for.
Yeah, this is really building up at the crescendo, the nerves in the drivers. Going back to the amateur category as well, Starniski made up 2 places on that restart, make up 2 more, and he's on the back of Hutchinson for the amateur win. So that is still well and truly on, as Ruse and Reed lead the pack round behind the safety car. Ruse having a look for his best result of the season wherever, as long as he finishes in the top 8 here tonight. And Reed, these were 9th and 10th in the opening round in the class, so that shows how open this championship is.
Yeah, but the current championship leader, if we were to take the results right now, would be Tony Repsard, who took 3rd in race 1, and he'll take, if they finish right here, at least in the top 4 right now, and you know, that'll just be the most consistent finisher, and that would give him the championship lead. But you know, if you were Tony, you'd not even care about the championship right now. It's race number 2. It's the 2nd ever green-white checker. The first time ever we have a back-to-back double overtime here in Apex Racing League history. The first time it's ever happened. After the first time we've had an overtime. Oh, I am excited for this. It's one to get 1. It's double to get 2, and it's gonna be 3 more laps to go. Here, green, white, checkered is in the air, and it's going to be very soon to green. There goes Ruse.
Yeah, great start again by Ruse. Reed heads to the inside, still can't quite make it through. But it is Ruse and Reed aligned
Down to
the inside of Komarev.
No, I'm talking about the 97. Look at Corez. Corez coming out of nowhere. There's going to be 3 wide through turns 1 and 2, and that is Corez forcing the 10 out wide. Corez making his spot up into 5th place, heading one more time into 3 and 4. There's contact once more. That's Hutchison getting rear-ended by Bila. Bila and Hutchison. White flag is out. This is the last lap. Let's take a look at the lead. Roars and Reed. Reed looking down to the inside. Reed sending it down to the inside, heading one last time to 3, 1 and 2. Reed and Ruse. Ruse and Reed. They make contact coming out of 1 and 2. And out the exit, Reese and Ruse, they did make contact. Here comes Tony Repsar. Tony's going to make it 3 wide. He sends it up to the inside, but there's no room right there. He locks it up. Alston Downtown is going to send it up to the inside. Andrew Ruse trying to hold it around to the outside. It's a drag race. And it's going to be Ruse by a nose of an inch. There's carnage at the end of the race. Reed sent it all in there. The push by Repsar to push Reed a little bit, just upset his car. Ruse was able to hold it around the outside, and the advantage he got by taking 2 tires instead of 4 gave him the win here at Phoenix in the first ever overtime in Apex Racing League history. Boy, do I love NASCAR.
What a strategic masterclass by Andrew Ruse to just take them 2 tires. And just as you were saying that the podium and championship lead was going to Tony.
And there's his teammate.
Aladone is now the championship leader.
Yeah, he passed Tony.
Yeah, he passed Tony on the final corner as Tony ran wide. Not
wait.
sure why he went so deep because there wasn't the space for him to go.
Tony rear-ended Reed. Tony rear-ended Reed as the two teammates are going to be taking a little bit of a victory lap right here. But yeah, that last lap dive by Tony, pushing Jacob Reed wide, I would say has upset Reed's car just a little bit. That ruse held it around the outside to win by 19 thousandths of a second. Wow.
And as you can see on the results, it is Andrew Roos who takes the win from Jacob Reed, 19 thousandths of a second. Daladone nicks third on the final corner from Reposar.
And championship lead.
Yeah, and the championship lead. Jeremy Corres comes home in 5th with Luka Korolov in 6th. Martin Steinbiker in 7th from Mark Hutchinson, the top amateur, well clear of anybody else. That was a great drive by him all day long.
He almost lost it.
Matu Super in 9th and Modos Janos in 10th.
Yeah, behind them in 11th is Henrik Bila, who heading into the last lap got into Mark Hutchinson heading into turns 3 and 4, and that sent Mark sideways, but I feel like that hurt Bila more as he fell down the field even more as not going on to those new tires. Everybody sworn past him. Mark Sergel finished in 13th, followed by Adam Starzinski, Ricker Bobber, Kevin Kittleman, Sebastian Detweiler, Kev Copland, Christian Glamstead, and Jason Nethery, followed by Sergei Glaskov, Rory O'Shea, and Thor Thulo. At the end of our 22-car grid, we've had no retirements, surprisingly, in this race. Everybody who started this race finished the race, but only one driver is hoisting up that checker flag and is burning it down. And that is the 48 wannabe machine of Andrew Roos, who, he's still burning it down right now. But what a crazy, crazy race. We'll talk to Andrew very soon, but currently standing by with David was the leader for most of that race, Jacob Reed.
Yeah,
Hello?
Jacob, you really did lead the majority of that race. You were probably a little gutted to see that yellow come out at the end.
Yeah, I saw the accident in front of me entering turn 1. I think it was the 88 car, and I saw him stopping. I think it's pretty ridiculous that people can get away with that, but nonetheless, Andrew out-strategized me. I assume he took 2 tires to have such a fast pit stop, and yeah, that was a really hard last 2 laps. I pushed as hard as I possibly could, he pushed as hard as he possibly could, and it was a super close photo finish. And I'm gutted to miss out, but I guess you can't complain when you lose in such a good battle like that. So fair play to Andrew. He drove an awesome race, and our number 66 Chevrolet Camaro with Fort Worth screen printing was awesome all day. Led the entire race. I kept my tires under me. I had plenty more to give. I'm surprised Tony managed to catch me, but I knew that I could keep a 28.9 even on 1 tires. And that I assumed his tires would level out at the same kind of lap time, and it did. And I was about 3 laps away from winning it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we saw Tony closing that gap very quickly and weren't sure if you were just trying to control the pace a little bit to try and keep some tyres in case something happened at the end. But once he got up behind you at about 7/10 of a second, he just wasn't being able to close that gap.
Yeah, we caught some traffic about that time, and I think that helped me. I was good through the traffic, and I was able to kind of then, yeah, like I said, that 28.9 lap time, I was confident I could hold that from the first stint. So I kind of knew that if he were to catch up to me, that would be the case for him, and that we would kind of hold the same lap time. So I wasn't too worried, and that traffic allowed me to pull a little bit of a bigger gap that I was able to hold, and I think he was really pushing there towards the end of that stint because he might as well have. and then he was kind of using up his tyres a little bit more.
Yeah, and obviously you finished 9th in the class last time out, so this is a real kickstart to your championship. Have you got any targets for the year in terms of the championship?
P1.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So last week at Daytona, I led the most laps again, and I got involved in a wreck with 3 laps to go again. Well, there was a wreck with 3 laps to go, and again, a lap car kind of doing something that didn't help me out. But at least this time I still got P2, and although I've lost out 5 points due to it, hopefully I can make up those 5 points I lost this race, and then probably the 20 points I lost last race. My kind of hope was that I could have gone from Daytona with a good result as well, because those are kind of lottery races, and I kind of have to look at Talladega now as a race that I need to win, because again, like I said, those are lottery races almost. So I've got to at least keep up consistency and make sure I finish Talladega in a good result, and hopefully I can bring home the P1 trophy.
Yeah, fingers crossed for you in the next round, but this is a great result for you in the championship. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Again, my sponsor, Fort Worth Screen Printing, doing the 10 hours of Suzuka with them as well this weekend, and also MRTI. I know they're watching. I was talking in Discord to them in chat under caution on my phone. So yeah, thanks to those guys, and thanks to you guys for hosting this series, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, and all the best for next week.
Thank you.
So that was Jacob Reed, who finished 2nd after leading the most laps here tonight.
Yeah, and I'm standing by with our new championship leader, current pro championship leader, but new overall championship leader. He finished 3rd today, Alessandro Dalladone. Alessandro, today's race you were down in about 6th and 7th throughout most of the race. And then at the end, well, that was the best time for you because we know on how much you love to be that aggressive driver. Walk us through those final 2 green-white checker restarts and your mind when you saw that that was going to be the case.
It was quite interesting, and I was actually pissed about the caution because I just wanted to finish the race and go home because I hated this track. But hey, I managed to run 4 laps with a perfectly running car because I hit the wall probably 10 times during the race. So I had about a minute damage when I pitted at lap 50. So I just threw my car, as you all know, I don't really have any problem in sending it every corner. And NASCAR, come on. If you don't do it on the ovals, where are you supposed to do that? I got lucky though, because I had no chance to get 3rd place. Hey, big points, because I know Tony is gonna be very, very fast, and for the championship standings, being able to pass him today was really, really important.
Yeah, passing it. Let's walk you through that final corners. You saw Tony get pretty aggressive fighting for the lead. You saw him go wide. What was going through your mind when he did that?
I knew they were fighting, so I just lifted a little bit and made sure to not get too close to them. Not that I was any closer and any chance to get anything out of that corner, but I saw them were really, really pushing each other, so I backed out and tried to get a good exit. And in the end, only 2 turns out of the leader, and what a finish. I was up front, so really, really great racing towards the end. I bet it's going to be very boring, apart from the last 2 green-white checkers. But personally, I'm more than happy because these and Charlotte are going to be, in my opinion, my worst tracks in the season. So.
Well, next week it is Charlotte, your 2nd worst track. Last time we were there, we had no cautions at all, straight up running from start to finish. We wish you the luck for that, Alessandro. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank?
But obviously, thanks to 1050 Barbanera Racing. I also have a former President Marco cheering tonight, so that was a pleasure. And obviously also Kairos Competitions for being my team. And we might even have a 1050 Barbarian Racing cars joining towards the end of the season. And I think Austin knows who we are talking about because it's the person we were speaking earlier. So we might have a great comeback to Apex Racing League in the next.
I'm excited to see the return of the dominant 1050 Barbonera Racing team, but you know, that's just nothing's official until it happens on track. Well, congrats on a good finish and the championship, leader Alessandro. You have yourself a great time, and back to David. David, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, what a good race between everybody, keeping it clean throughout. Only the 2 yellows. Second one, as we said, a little dodgy on that one. But it's certainly going to be a close championship fight throughout this season.
It certainly is, and the excitement continues on. This is only round 2, and we already have a heated championship fight, and I can't wait for next round. We'll be at Charlotte next time by, and it's gonna be a exciting one there again. Thank you everybody for joining us here on Apex Racing TV for another amazing round of the ARL NASCAR B-Class Championship here at the Jewel in the Desert at Phoenix. I've been joined by David Whitehouse and Samuli Kumo in the production booth, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.